I'm going to be taking you through the full process for creating a beautiful high-end ensuite. So for the first stage, we're just going to get straight into it, and we're going to be doing the basic modeling of the walls and the floor and just the general block out. So let's get right into it. So we've got this new scene here. I'm just going to go A and delete. I've got my mood board over here with all my materials and, you know, the bathroom features that I think would look really cool together. And it all kind of feels quite curated. So this is really the design at its core. This is what I've come up with. It's just and by the way, this is a plan view. If this is the first time you've seen something like this, this is something that a ArcViz artist would normally get from an architect if they didn't get a 3D kind of model already with everything in it, which, you know, that's not super common. So this is a floor plan of an ensuite, and these lines here, these numbers are measurements of, you know, elements to each other. I don't want to make this too complicated, but basically these dark lines here, these are the walls, and then this is a door. Over here, this is your basin. We've got a toilet as well, shower, so this little X here is for a shower, and then we've got like a cool built-in bath. So if you're going to be following along, make sure to jump onto my Discord, because I've created a channel where you can literally share your work, whatever you come up with. There's actually a challenge there, and it's free. Jump on. By the way, this software is called PureRef. It's a free kind of software you can use to collect a whole bunch of images, and you can actually overlay it and it doesn't disappear. So it's really, really useful. And also, just before we begin, all of my toilets, taps, showers, everything is from BIM object, and when we get to that, I'll walk you through how you can download that stuff for free. And also the main material I've used is free as well. It's from CG Mood. So yeah, I'll walk you guys through that eventually. So let's create a cube. I'm going to scale this to 2.7. And that's going to be the height. By the way, these are in meters. If you're using inches, I don't know. You might want to just convert it as you go. Apologies to the US people. What I'm going to do is, I've made this 2.7 meters. That's the ceiling height of this bathroom. And I'm actually just going to create a cube that fills the entire space. So looking at my plan, I've got 2 meters here. And that's the overall width of the internal space. So I'm going to make this 2 meters, which actually it already is. And then let's go to the length, the overall length, and it's 4.53, whatever. Like we could do 4.53 or even 4.5. It's not really a biggie. Let's do 4.53 meters. So over here in the X dimensions, I'm going to go 4.53, enter. So this is literally the shape of the internal space of the bathroom. What I'm going to do now that I've set this up is I'm going to go Shift D to duplicate, and let's enable our snapping, because snapping is so important to everything to do with modeling in ArcViz. So up here on the top, let's go to snapping and let's click vertex. So I'm going to go vertex snapping. So now when I click on my cube that I duplicated, I'm going to press G and then Control to snap to this corner. So we want these walls to be, 100 mil, let's say. It doesn't really matter because you won't actually see the outside of it. So let's duplicate these, snap to the other side by holding Control. Let's duplicate again. Rotate by pressing R, and then on the Z axis by pressing R and then Z, and I'm going to press 90. Cool. So now because this is a different size, we want to actually go into here by tabbing into it, pressing the the face select mode, and let's go on the grab it on the Y axis, and let's duplicate. Again, if you're an absolute beginner and you feel really lost, do not worry. I've got, courses that are perfect for you for free on YouTube. So make sure to check that out. Okay, so now we want to do the ground. So we've done the walls, let's do the ground. And because we have such a cool little cube here, I'm just going to drop this all the way down and then snap to the top of the bottom of the walls. I'm going to enlarge this out. And that sounds good. And then I'm just going to like, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to like kind of make it look like it's got a bit of a slab. Let's shift duplicate this and let's snap this to the top. So we've got literally this kind of cube with a ceiling and everything. Now I mean, for a bathroom scene, you don't have to go quite into, organizing everything perfectly. That's really important for a big scene. But I would actually recommend with the ceiling, let's just double click on this cube and type ceiling. We want to move this to a collection. Let's go right click, move to collection, ceiling. We want to actually move this to a collection that we can, I should also save this. Let's just go high-end ensuite. And ensuite. Remember to save your projects. It's a rookie error. So we're going to save that high-end ensuite, and then we've moved this to the ceiling collection, and now we can kind of turn this on and off if we want to. And it just helps see what's going on in here. So if we bring these dimensions over again, we've got this shape that looks, pretty spot on to what we need. Now we are going to create kind of the basic blocks for where things are going to go. So if I start from the top here, we've got from the inside of the wall, we've got 1 meter, 1000 is 1 meter. I so apologize if this is getting confusing. Yeah, so this is 1 meter, 1000 millimeters. And we want this bath. This is going to be a really cool built-in marble travertine bath. It's going to be amazing. This is 1 meter from the inside of the wall. So what I want to do is create this kind of wall that is 1 meter from the inside of the other side. I'm just going to show you if it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to go snap to the inside of this wall, which is in here, and I'm going to go GX and -1 meter. And I want this bath to be, gosh, I don't even know how high bath should be. I feel like it might be like 700 mils. So I'm going to go scale it up to 0.7. So this is 700 millimeters high. And I'm sorry if you guys don't understand meters or, millimeters. Just kind of apply it with your own knowledge of how things should be with, imperial, or have a look online. You can just Google as you watch this, it's fine, I don't care. So I'm just going to scale this in. Cool, so that's kind of the bath structure here. And I'm tabbing into this, I'm going to go extrude this out so that we have kind of this line here that is the size of, that's actually this kind of section here. And that's where I want it to actually start angling in. What I also might do while I'm in here is I might do one here too. Let's go 0.1, and I'm going to go one on the other side. So I just create a line, I snap to the edge, and then I bring it back in -1. Oh, wrong one. -0.1. Let's do the same for this. And -0.1. Cool. And now what we're going to do is, you can see there's this kind of square that's on the inside. What I'm going to do is basically create a few lines in here for the, how do I explain that? This is where the bottom of the bath is going to be. So I'm going to go back here, create another line that's -0.1, another 100 mils out. This will make perfect sense very soon. So if you're confused, do not stress. -0.1. So we've basically just done this whole thing one more time. And what I'm going to do is click on this in the face select, and I'm going to bring this down. So you can see now it makes sense, hopefully. And I think that's looking pretty cool. Yeah, I will kind of model this up a bit more so this makes sense. But if we're doing like travertine stone, it's not going to be super rounded and curvy like you see a lot of baths. It's actually going to be pretty boxy. So yeah, we're going to add some bevels around the corner and stuff, but that's starting to look pretty good. What I'm going to do now is add a shower section here. So if I go mesh cube, we're going to add another cube, and we want this shower to be 1 meter wide. So I'm going to snap to the edge. I'm going to type -1, and then this is going to be our shower. But it's going to be like basically you won't even really see it, if that makes sense. It's going to be so minimal. And there's going to be a shower head that kind of rain head that comes from the top. So it's really going to be very minimal. You're going to walk into this nice big room that just feels so open and flowing. So we're actually not going to worry too much about the detail here for now. Let's just duplicate this. And I'm going to create a 0.01 maybe. I'm going to create a glass kind of divider, and maybe that's going to be fluted glass or something. It'll be really nice. So I'm going to make a thin 10 mil 1 centimeter wide thick sheet of glass, and then from the outside here I'm going to move this in like -0.8. So 800 millimeters is a good gap that you can walk through and not kind of like have to like bump into the grass. Okay, so this is really starting to look quite good. So now I'm going to start to get the other elements in. What I'm going to do to start with is the toilet. So on BIM Object, the website, you can get this Asher wall hung toilet pan from Abbey Interiors. So if you type this in on your browser on that website, you can download the FBX. So I'm going to drag that in now. All right, so I just drag and drop import, and this is looking pretty good off the bat. Let's just go in here. Yeah, nice. I'm going to quickly move this to a collection right now, and I'm going to call this toilet. And let's just reselect everything. It's quite an interesting toilet, because I chose this because it's going to be quite minimal. You're not really going to see like the toilet pan at the back. It's going to be like going straight into the wall, which is like quite a cool high-end effect that I really like. So let's snap to this wall, and I'm going to move the edge of this like maybe 800 mil. No, not that. Maybe like 600 mil. Yeah, that feels kind of maybe 500 mil from the edge. And then let's just shift this down. And I actually really want to quickly figure out what height the top of that toilet seat should be. So I'll come back and I'll let you know. Okay, so 380 to 460 millimeters from the floor. So if I bring this down so the seat is there, let's move this out of the way so I can see. So what does this say up the top left? Let's say 380. Yeah, okay. Let's just move this here. That's okay. So this is a floating kind of wall hung toilet, which looks really sick. All right, so the next kind of key component that I'm going to add in is a basin. So if I go add a cube into the scene, I am going to scale this, or I'm going to move this up. I'm losing my voice. I'm going to move this up to 0.9 from the floor. All right. And 900 millimeters is quite a good height to from the floor to the top of the, man, I'm really like, my brain, my brain's not working. 900 millimeters is a good height for a bench. You could do a little bit lower, but 900 is quite good. All right, so I'm going to scale this in, and we're going to create the same distance from the edge of the toilet to the glass. So let's go snap to the toilet, and then we're going to go minus 0.6. Is it 600 mil? I think it's 600 mil. Let's just double check. Oh, no, it's 500. Okay. So let's go minus 0.5. Okay. And then we want the depth of this to be 500 mils. So we're going to go 0.5, and we've got ourselves a basin that is the perfect height and the perfect width of a basin. So I really want this to be like quite an interesting design. So let's see what kind of height we want. It's going to be, the cabinets will also be travertine, which is going to be really nice. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to move this in, you know, like minus 0.0, minus 0.02. So I want this travertine to be kind of a 20 millimeter slab at the front, and I'm only going to basically create a slab at the top that waterfalls over. So I'm going to just create a edge cut in here, snap to that. This is getting a little bit more advanced, but I'm just, for the sake of time, I'm just going to speed through it a little bit more. And I'm just going to create a bit of a shadow gap here. And let's bring the top up a little bit. And I'm going to create a array modifier. Let's go on the Z axis. And this really helps me to set things out correctly. So if I bring this down now, let's just make a little bit more space at the top. And it's always really nice to have a bit of an overhang on the edge. So this is starting to look quite nice. Yeah. And then what I might do here is subdivide this again, and I'm actually going to move the top down a little bit to create a little bit of an edge to grab hold of. So it's starting to look quite good. I might actually move this a little bit further down, because I actually think that when you actually add in a basin, it's going to feel a little bit too strange. So in the top here, I'm going to create a loop edge, create another one, snap. We're going to like move this 0.05, 50 mil from the outside. Let's do the same from here, 0.05, oh, other way, minus 0.05. Let's do the same from here. Oh, let's actually do 0.1. 0.1, yep. And then let's do that from the back too, or let's just kind of see how that looks. Yeah. 0.1. Cool. And then from the other side, I'm going to do 0.1 as well. Oh, wrong way. Cool. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is click on these middle ones, just like we did with the bath. And actually, no, I need to basically create some inset faces now. So let's do that. So let's just, we don't want it to be too angled. So let's extrude down now. Oh, actually, no, instead of extruding, I'm going to just bring it down, because I actually want a little bit of a angle. Yeah, that's quite nice. If I go into X-ray mode real quick, we can see it's still kind of a good height from, the top of the drawer. So that's actually going to work out all right. So let's now bring this little section down. All right. All right, so that's it for this episode. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one where we tackle the bathroom fixtures. And feel free to jump on the Discord. There's a link in the description. You can actually share your work of this project on a specific channel and see other people's work. So it's pretty cool. So I'll see you in episode 2 very, very soon. Cheers.